red flag or behavioral issues happening in the entire reverse auction process. Now, what we recommended to them is just automation in that area, and we see significant reduction in investigations and even whistleblowing complaints coming in from there. Another very interesting area I would believe, and I definitely believe automation at scale can add value, is the management of fraud disputes. So now, if I focus on BFSI, RBI expects that customer reports a fraud, you have to go back with the entire analysis and probably even a refund in 7 days. Now that itself is such a big task. Now, if you can have all that information consolidated from your different systems, you could be a BFSI client or a non-BFSI client. I think one of the key takeaways for me in all the previous discussions was that people spoke about ROI. Now, general ROI expectation from automation is that in terms of time, in terms of effort and tag. But I think if it's applied to fraud, risk and compliance, a very beautiful additional value add comes in terms of reputational risk and customer experience enhancement. So those are some of the additional levers that can be utilized. And yeah, a lot of examples in this area. I just spoke about 2-3 that we have repeatedly sort of assisted or recommended clients to. But yeah, I think a lot of scale that is possible in the fraud and compliance space.
Yeah. No, very, very interesting, and for many, some of us will be, this is a completely new area to look after, like Fernando was talking about, right? It's a new way to look at where automation can be applied. But Fernando, it is that the journey is not going to be smooth, right? When this kind of a scale to be achieved, and especially the BFSI financial services industry is always on the move, right? Is that people have more tasks to do than what they can handle because of the sheer voluminous things which are important, being a services industry. So what kind of challenges do you see in this kind of a scale-up situation, which you see, which organization, BFSI or otherwise also, which you need to kind of worry about?
Yeah, I always say that the main characteristics we should have when starting and having automation in our companies is creativity, not technical knowledge. Because at the end of the day, the architecture you choose for the bots are going to be mandatory. For either you're going to scale at some time or you're going to have to do it again. So I always say that, so the main thing is that we need to, like I saw in one of the presentations, that they had done a bot. I think it was, I don't remember which one was, but he mentioned that they had done a bot, and after 1 year, their volume went so high, they had to rebuild it. So, and I see that's very hard for us at first to understand that we need to create a architecture that is able to cope with today's demand, but also look at the future. So I would say that the first thing that we should focus, and the customers struggle with that, because they normally think on processes as humans or as replacing humans. So one thing, Jitendra, I'm gonna steal your quote now, Jitendra, he told me this 3 years ago when I visited him, is that automation is all about co-creating a new way of working. It's not about replacing people. And that co-creation is something always stuck with me, which is, it's about redesigning the way we do things. Otherwise, as he told me today, we were talking about this code, otherwise we just do like some minor adjustments, minor innovations, some improvements here and there, but we do not transform. And I think that when we talk about transformation, it's not only the technology, we're talking about rethink the way things are done, and that kind of touches everybody in the organization. So I think that's the biggest challenge. It's not much of a technology challenge. Of course, the technical challenges are going to be there, regardless of the tool you choose. But this part of architecture, you see the future, and the behavior of people think of designing automation as an automation first process. That's something that takes time. It's not like someone said, Roman was not built in a day. So the automation first strategy takes some time to people to start thinking like it and things like that.